Welcome back. All right, so I want to talk about goaltending. Now, I talked about goaltending a few weeks ago when I was into the advanced stats. There's a little bit of advanced stats on the board, but not very much. I just wanted to talk about goaltending situations with each team, going in alphabetical order from Anaheim through Winnipeg. And so we'll talk about Anaheim first. Now, Anaheim got off to a really strong start. They have really fallen off since that strong start. Gibson has a 906 save percentage, Dostal 878, and in goals saved above expected, he has a negative 5.9. So that's a tough number for Dostal, and it is a tough number too if you're Anaheim. So did they move Gibson is the question. There's the possibility, of course, that Gibson could want out still. And if that's the case, do you bring in another goaltender? I would think yes. I would think a goalie for goalie swap. What else might be included? And then do you do that with the idea that Dostal becomes your starter next year? It will be interesting to see what they do. Arizona, I'm wearing the Tucson Roadrunners because Arizona is interesting to me. Vejmelka, 892 save percentage. Ingram, 922. Connor Ingram's off to a great start. Goal saved above expected, plus 7.3. Whereas Vejmelka's rocking a negative 5.9. So it's the biggest disparity that I saw of any of the goaltenders when we look at one team and which goaltender's playing really well and which one isn't. Big difference between Ingram and Vejmelka. So Ingram's stolen that starting job, and he's been quite good. So Arizona, who have won 3 in a row against pretty good competition, Ingram's a big part of that. Boston, we know Boston's goaltending's very good. Ullmark and Swayman. Swayman's a goal saved above expected at plus 8.1. There's no need to change anything in Boston. Stop trying to take Ullmark. All right. Buffalo's interesting too. You have Comrie at an 876 save percentage, Luukkonen at a 905, and Levi at an 876. Nobody has run away with the starting job. Nobody has really grasped that brass ring, so to speak. And so, yeah, with Buffalo, I do wonder if the goaltending's part of the reason why this team has underachieved thus far. There are definitely places to place some blame right now. Goaltending is very well part of that. I do think that the traditional stats add up to Luukkonen being the best of the 3 goaltenders so far this year. And that 905 is after he allowed 6 goals on 20 shots last night. So Luukkonen's had a pretty strong run. Levi is the future, but for the present, what are they going to do? We'll see. 3 goaltenders, they're one of the teams carrying them, and we'll see if they end up making some sort of a move. But it does feel like if they're going to really push into a playoff spot, they're probably going to need to have some kind of an upgrade in net. Calgary, Markstrom, 897 save percentage. Vladar, 883. Dustin Wolf just played the one game, 895 save percentage for him. Markstrom and Vladar have been good. I don't think they've been spectacular. The Calgary broadcasts very, very much gung-ho about both goaltenders. But I do think that there's, I wouldn't say weakness with Calgary's goaltending, but could they be better? Yes. And I think we've seen with Markstrom's numbers in the past, he can be better than that 897. The difference between a good goaltender and a great goaltender in the NHL is a good goaltender will make the big save. The great goaltender will make the save you cannot believe he saved it, and you're rewinding it going, how did he save it? How did he do that? And so that's the difference to me, is that there's good goaltenders, there's great goaltenders. I don't think there's a bad goalie in the NHL. Because if you get to the National Hockey League, you're one of the best. Right now, there's 76 goalies that have played. So around the globe, there's 76 guys that qualify to be an NHL goaltender. You have to be pretty good. But Carolina's one that maybe does need to look at an upgrade. So Anderson, who's still out right now, 894 save percentage. Ranta, 854 and negative 6.9 in goals saved above expected. It took a real hit against Tampa Bay as well. I think against Tampa, he allowed 3 goals above expected. Kochetkov, 878, and he, in goals saved above expected, negative 5.8. So those numbers are not great. That is definitely a problem for the Carolina Hurricanes. This is a team that is seen as a contender. The goaltending has not been contender worthy. Ranta's 854. That is like bad for the 80s level bad. He's got to turn that around. Chicago's had good goaltending. Mrazek, 900 save percentage. Soderblom, 882. If at some point Chicago makes Mrazek available, because they're not going to the playoffs, I think there'd be a market for Mrazek. I have defended Mrazek now his whole time in Chicago. I'm doing it again here. There are a lot of people who don't think Mrazek's very good, which is fine. I'm not saying he's Vezina level, but I do think he would be an upgrade over some of the goaltending we've seen for other teams to this point. Colorado's an interesting one too. Prosvetov has a 919 save percentage, but he barely plays. Georgiev has an 899 save percentage. He's played the most games of any goaltender in the NHL so far with 19. I do think Colorado's overworking Georgiev. Georgiev's a good goaltender. He's not a guy who should be working 65 games, and he's on pace for about 65 games. I think that's probably too many. I don't know if it's Coach Bednar not having faith in Prosvetov, but it definitely is something that I think Colorado needs to look at, is managing how many games Georgiev's starting and making sure he has a proper amount of rest. Columbus. Martin's been good, 903 save percentage. Merzlikin's 907. Tarasov is seen as being close to a return, so it's possible that Martin's going to be on the market. They've done a good job of helping Martin reclaim his status as a National Hockey League goaltender. He had a really rough year in Vancouver last year. His numbers were really ugly. So when he was picked up on waivers from Vancouver because they were getting to Smith, I didn't think Martin necessarily was going to put up the numbers that he has so far in Columbus, but even the advanced stats have been good. I do think there's a market for Spencer Martin now, so kudos to Columbus for creating that. Dallas, Wedgwood, 911 save percentage, Ottinger, 916. I think the goaltending in Dallas has been good, very good on some nights. Can it be better? Yes. I do think the goaltending can be better in Dallas. Ottinger, a very up and down. And it could be in the same game where he's very, very good in the first and then the second. And again, he's not the only goaltender with that. But Wedgwood's been solid as the backup. And so I do like the situation Dallas has themselves in with goaltending. Detroit's one to keep an eye on. Husso, 892 save percentage. Lyon, 958 save percentage. And a positive 6.3 in goals saved above expected. Reimer, 917. So for Detroit with 3 goaltenders, there are definitely going to be teams calling them if they haven't already. I would think the easiest to pry away from them right now might be Husso, considering the cap hit. But Lyon's probably the one that's going to be generating calls. His numbers have been good. Obviously, he had a good run with Florida late last season. He would not clear waivers if he was waived right now. So is there a trade likely? It's possible. There are some teams that I think are getting desperate enough. It's part of the reason I'm doing this video today. I feel like before we reach Christmas, we're going to see some movement with goaltending. The Oilers, Pickard, 891 save percentage. Campbell, 873 save percentage. He's been playing better for Bakersfield recently. Skinner, 881 save percentage, and a negative 9.2 in goals saved above expected. So the goaltending needs to be better in Edmonton. I think it's been better with Skinner recently, but still that negative 9.2. For a team that has Stanley Cup aspirations and has not performed up to that level, they need more out of Skinner. So we'll see if that happens or if they have to make another move. I would like to see Pickard get a couple more games there too, because, again, I'm a fan of Pickard, but we'll see what happens. Florida. Bobrovsky's played a lot, 18 games. 912 save percentage in those 18 games. Stolar's been very good in relief, 929 save percentage. I think Stolar's is making an argument for getting a few more starts and giving Bobrovsky a little more rest. And if you can do that in December and January and keep your goaltender fresh for April, May, and June, well, if you're playing in June, you've done pretty well. So, yeah, I think the goaltending's solid in Florida. Then you get to the LA Kings. Talbot and Copley. Talbot, 928 save percentage. Copley, 868. But wasn't it an 818 not too long ago? So it's gotten better. But Talbot's had a really good run. He has a plus 8.5 in goals saved above expected. So Talbot's been quite good. And his numbers in Ottawa last year, his traditional numbers, not fantastic, but the advanced stats were good. This year, both traditional and advanced stats, quite good for Talbot. Any discussion of LA's goaltending seems to have quieted down recently. Wonder why. Minnesota, where goaltending conversations are quite loud and quite common. We have a tale of 2 goaltenders there. Fleury, 875 save percentage. Negative 7.4 if you're looking at goals saved above expected, so that needs to improve. Gustafsson has improved, 891 save percentage. Coaching change seems to have made a big difference to Minnesota in the short term. We'll see if it does in the long term. The coaching bump you get when you get a new coach is common. It's a matter of being able to sustain that. So that's where Minnesota, it's going to be interesting to see if they, with their goaltending, are able to sustain that. And if Fleury's numbers stay in that 875 spot, and if Minnesota gets into a spot where they can compete for the playoffs, what do you do? This is the question I have with some of these goaltending situations. How do you fix this and what do you do? Montreal, so they just signed Montembeault. Again, another reason why I could throw this board together today. Jake Allen has a 903 save percentage, Montembeault 910. Primo's numbers hurt by last night's game, 886 save percentage for him currently. Primo's clearly the guy they're getting ready to be at least a 1A, 1B over the next couple of years. Jake Allen is the obvious one to look at as trade bait. But again, with Jake Allen, who picks him up? How much do you get for him? Always keep in mind that when you trade a goaltender, odds are you're going to get less back than the fans and the media expect you will. It will very often be an underwhelming return. So we'll see what happens there. But the team's carrying 3 goaltenders. You would think something has to give soon. Nashville. UC Saros, very un-UC-like numbers. 895 save percentage, -8 in goal saved above expected. He's also played 18 games. Could use a little more rest. Lankinen, 910 save percentage. The answer's Lankinen. Lankinen's been good. So for Nashville, their start to the season was rough. They've now lost a game after winning 6 in a row. You don't want to overcorrect, but there's been talks about whether or not they might move Saros if they fall out of the playoff chase. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think he's old enough that you have to think, well, we have to get rid of him while we can get something for him. I don't think he's that old. But at any rate, he's goaltender. Goaltenders very often are good into their mid-30s, which can be tougher for players at other positions. But yeah, Lankinen's right there. Play Lankinen more. So we'll see if they start doing that. Now, in the case of the New Jersey Devils, you've got Vanacek, 879 save percentage, -6.6 goals saved above expected. So he's got to get better. But Schmid, 904 save percentage. And of course, we know Tom Fitzgerald's been working the phones, working on upgrading the goaltending. So that's just basically proving his point that they do need to upgrade the goaltending. New York Islanders, we know their goaltending's solid. But what's weird with their goaltending is Varlamov's outplayed Sorokin. 923 save percentage for Varlamov, 913 for Sorokin. Varlamov a plus 6.1 in goals saved above expected. So his numbers have been very good, making sure I'm not stepping on a rabbit. But yeah, the New York Islanders, their goaltending solid. No real reason to overanalyze it, but Varlamov's been excellent. For the Rangers, Quick has been their best goalie. 930 save percentage and a plus 8.8 in goals saved above expected. Shesterkin's right there with him at 915 for his save percentage, but a plus 6.6 in goals saved above expected. And Louis Domingue, not bad either. 962 save percentage when he's been called into action. So again, if your team plays in New York, or your team has the name of New York, the Islanders, the Rangers, I guess, well, Buffalo's a New York State team. Buffalo, yeah, all right. So if your team's New York Islanders, New York Rangers, you're in good shape. New Jersey and Buffalo, I know New Jersey's not, is their own state. But anyway, we'll just move along. Ottawa, Forsberg, 850 save percentage and -6.6 in goals saved above expected. Korpisalo, 902 save percentage. I don't know that any change comes to their goaltending other than maybe you give Sogard a look at some point and see what he can do. But yeah, odds are you're just going to look for improvement from Forsberg and from Korpisalo as well. Philadelphia, Peterson, 896 save percentage. Hart, 909 save percentage. And Ersson, 881 save percentage. A lot of discussion with Carter Hart a lot of the time. There's those who think he's not a very good goaltender. I do not believe that. I think Hart's a good goaltender. He's not a top 5 goaltender in the NHL, but I don't think he's the reason why the Flyers lose games when they lose them either. So I think their goaltending's good. I do wonder if at some point in time one of their goaltenders gets traded. They've got 3. Yeah, and what's the plan with Cal Peterson? Just play out the rest of his contract? Do you make a move? Does Ersson have any value on the market? Again, 3 goaltenders. With Sandstrom, you've got 4. So we'll see what the Flyers do, if anything. Pittsburgh, Hellberg, 922 save percentage when he was called into action. Magnus Hellberg's just very good when he's needed. Jari, 919 save percentage, scored a goal last night, and plus 6.9 in the goal saved above expected category. So he's been quite good. And Nedeljkovic, 937 save percentage. So goaltending has not been a problem for Pittsburgh at all. San Jose, Kakkonen, 889 save percentage. He's brought that up. Blackwood's 903 save percentage. Not as high as it was early in the season, but still, the goaltending in San Jose I don't think is necessarily what's cost them games. Keep in mind, those numbers are with the 2 10 goal spots that were put against the team back-to-back. So those save percentages aren't bad considering that. Seattle. Yeah, there should be some concern with Seattle. The last time I did this a few weeks ago, Grubauer's numbers weren't bad. They were right around average. Now his save percentage 882, and he's allowing more goals than he should be. Negative 6.3 in goals saved above expected. Decord hasn't been a lot better. 895 save percentage and a -5, and even -5 with his numbers. I've got Corona with the wrong team, so go ahead and pretend you didn't see that. Just talk amongst yourselves about whatever's going on with your day and how your day's been and all that. But yeah, Corona was San Jose, should not be under Seattle. I wholeheartedly apologize. St. Louis, goaltending's been good. Really, Binnington, 910 save percentage, saving 5.5 goals above expected. Hofer, a 905 save percentage. I do think Binnington gets overrated at times, but he's been good this year. And yeah, St. Louis can be very, very up and down. I do need to do a video on that because it's bonkers looking at their games and how everything goes. But yeah, their goaltending's been solid, and I think Hofer's done a good job as the backup. Tampa Bay is fascinating. Vasilevsky, 892 since his return. Hopefully he's 100%. Tompkins, 889 save percentage in the games he played. Johansson, 894 save percentage. He's played 18 games. Played a ton before Vasilevsky came back. Negative 5.2 in goals saved above expected. So which is not a huge surprise with Johansson. And again, in 18 games played, he kept them in games when he needed to. But they need Vasilevsky to really become the Andrei Vasilevsky we all know, and some love, some don't. Some just don't like the Tampa Bay Lightning. Strange. Toronto, Samsonov, 878 save percentage. That has to be better. Wall, 917 save percentage for Wall, who is saving 7.8 goals above expected. So if you're a Leafs fan saying, hey, Wall's excellent, the advanced stats tell you, you're right. Kudos. In the Vancouver case, Demko's been fantastic. 926 save percentage, so he's down from that 940 he was rocking early in the year. But plus 12.5 goals saved above expected is number 2 overall in the NHL. DeSmith, a 907 save percentage. He's given them competent backup work, which is really all they asked for this year. DeSmith's not going to push Demko for the starting role, but he does give them a good enough look at the backup position that goaltending should not be a problem for Vancouver this year. Vegas, Adin Hill, 935 save percentage, saving 12.6 goals above expected. So wouldn't it be weird if Adin Hill won the Vezina this year? Right now, I would think he has to be one of the favorites. I would think it'd be him. I'll say Swayman. Talbot would have to be in the conversation. Jonathan Quick right now ends up in the conversation, but yeah, Adin Hill might be the favorite. But Logan Thompson, not bad himself. 916 save percentage, saving 6.1 goals above expected. So basically they had to be 5 or higher and -5 or lower for me to put that number on the board. I wanted to keep it simple today. So we're only 18 minutes in, so pretty simple. But yeah, Vegas goaltending's been fantastic. Washington, Charlie Lindgren stealing the starting job from Kemper. Kemper, 892 save percentage. Lindgren, 934 save percentage, saving 10.9 goals above expected. Shepard, 915 save percentage. So Shepard, good when he's been called up. Good on him for that. Again, hopefully that puts him on the radar for somebody somewhere to say, hey, this guy's in his mid-20s. Might be a late bloomer. Give him a look. But yeah, Hunter Shepard, whether he ends up being the backup goaltender in Washington or somewhere else, hopefully he gets a shot. And then that brings us to Winnipeg. Connor Hellebuck doing Hellebuck-like things. 911 save percentage, saving 6.1 goals above expected. The issue's been Brossoit. 877 save percentage has not been overly good for Winnipeg in his return. He has been an up-and-down goalie throughout his career, though. That's been true wherever he's played. So we'll see if Brossoit gets it cleared up. But let me know your thoughts. Which team are you really quite happy with the goaltending, and which team do you think needs to make a move, and why is it Carolina? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.